we last saw this individual when he was in Kansas City with us for the Big Slick. I'm going to stop talking about him as if he's not sitting to my right.
Here.
The Outlaws are going to be available for streaming on Netflix on Friday, July 7th, and season 3 of the hilarious The Righteous Gemstones premiered last weekend. New episodes air Sundays at 10 Eastern on HBO. There's also Max right here on Roku. The great Adam Devine here. Good to see you, sir.
Good
How
to
are
see
you,
man? Yeah, good to be back.
How's it going?
Great. Yeah.
Dude, what a cast for the Outlaws. You and the whole...
I know, man.
I mean, Pierce Brosnan... seeing him also, him and Ellen Barkin doing some kick-ass stuff.
I have to quit doing that to myself, like casting the most handsome people opposite me, because it keeps happening.
Yeah,
it's like Zac Efron, Liam Hemsworth,
yes,
now Pierce. Because I do look like a treasure troll next to him, but yeah, the movie is so fun, man. We put it together. The writers brought me this idea like at the very end of Workaholics, and so it's been like what 6 or 7 years ago now, and
that's how long this has been in the works.
Well, they pitched me the idea, and I'm like, that's a brilliant idea, and I wrote it down in a notebook, and then immediately lost the notebook, forgot all about it, and then like a few years ago found the notebook again, called the writers up. I was like, have you done anything with this idea? They hadn't. And then we sold it to Netflix and got Sandler's company on board to produce it with me. Yeah.
And a hell of a cast. Lil Rel Howery's going to be in studio next week. So
good.
A couple bites at the Outlaws apple here.
Yeah, please, man. Course. Keep plugging, baby.
Absolutely. And so the Ellen Barkin and Pierce Brosnan play your in-laws.
My future in-laws. I haven't met them. And the quick pitch is it's the week before my wedding. I haven't met them. They come into town. It's Pierce Brosnan, Ellen Barkin, like the two coolest people ever to be your in-laws. I'm kind of a dork, typecasting, and I'm like super straight-laced. I work at a bank. They take me out. I go skydiving. I get drunk. I get a tattoo. I go into the bank the next day. I'm talking to Lil Rel Howery, and he's like, "Man, you look horrible. Like, was it really that bad meeting your in-laws?" I'm like, "It was that good. They're fantastic. I just need a nice chill day here at the bank." Click, click. There's a gun to my head. 2 people are robbing my bank. They have masks on. They have voice disguising technologies, and then they say something as they leave. That leads to me to believe that my in-laws are outlaws.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Netflix, Friday, July 7th. You got a good Pierce Brosnan story? You got one for me on that front? Did you ask him about Bond? Did you do that sort of thing with him?
A little bit. I mean, he's just like this. He's like too cool to like get any like real. He's not giving up any dirt. He's not telling any like real dirty stories or anything. I did go to an art show that he had.
Yes.
Which was pretty cool. He does like some really cool art. It was his first big art show. He was kind enough to invite me.
By the way, that is one of the best flexes ever. And I know you're not doing that. I asked.
I didn't buy anything. I can't afford anything that he's selling.
Pierce Brosnan invites me to his art show.
Yeah. And I show up and there's like, I was like, oh, we obviously run in different circles, because there was like legitimately a man wearing a monocle. It just had a monocle in, as if that's a regular thing. There was like multiple people wearing ascots, like regular.
So like legit, somebody decides I'm going to Pierce Brosnan's art show
and go. It was wild, dude. I was like, there's levels to this, and I am way down here. Like Paul, do you know Paul Mitchell? I don't think that's
like
his
the
name.
Hair guy?
The hair guy.
Okay, yeah.
With the ponytail?
Well, I used to know him.
Yeah.
But,
was,
so
I'm sorry to bring that up.
It's all good. It's all good. I used to know Paul.
He was there. I was like, hey. I was like, we run in different circles. Paul, I'm not throwing an art show, and the Paul Mitchell guy isn't showing up.
By the way, how cool is it to go to an art show of a guy who was Thomas Crown, right? I mean, like this.
So cool.
Did you think about maybe like stealing one, putting it in a little,
Yeah, whenever I go anywhere, I'm thinking about stealing stuff.
By the way, monocle. Have you ever, other than playing Monopoly, ever been involved, or Mr. Peanut? Mr. Peanut. Those are the other monocle
not a lot
people.
Of monocle wearers out there. It turns out a little impractical, I would say.
Adam Devine here on the Rich Eisen Show. Again, The Outlaws available for streaming on Netflix on Friday, July 11th. The Righteous Gemstones back in the mix, brother.
Yeah, that's right. We just started back up.
So funny.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
oh
that's a good one.
Gosh. Do you ever read it, get a script and go, how the hell is this going to play out, or anything like that? Because it's so
No, I
out.
trust Danny and those guys so much, and they do such a good job of like where it's like it absolutely insane, and you're like, this is a lot of male penis in this. Are we going to be able to do this? And then, but he always pulls it off, so he's got a good touch.
All right, you got a good Danny McBride story for me that you can share?
None that I can tell here.
Seriously,
they told
really?
me I can't. It's live.
Off, it's off where it's off limits.
Yeah, I would think so.
So he's like that, is what you're saying.
He's the best, man. He's like, when before we created Workaholics. Andres came over to our house and we were writing stuff, and he gave us the DVD to Foot Fist Way, which was Danny's like first movie that sort of broke him in the business.
Yeah.
And we watched that, and after seeing that, I was like, oh, maybe we will be allowed to make movies, because he's just such like a regular, funny, definitely funny guy, but it seemed obtainable, and it is.
The number of times I've employed the GIF on Twitter of him snapping open a lawn chair and just sitting down. That is, I mean, the physical comedy.
Every Friday night, you blast that GIF
snap
out.
That thing out. Am I a GIF guy or a GIF guy? I don't know. At any rate,
GIF.
I don't know what it is. Adam Devine here on the Rich Eisen Show. So you are a Clipper fan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
how did you get into the Clippers?
It's a tough go. It's been a tough go for me, man.
That's TJ Jefferson over your right shoulder is another
there we go.
Clipper
Nation. There's the other one. So I found him.
Because you're from Nebraska, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I've been out here. I've been in LA for like 20 years now.
But you have your choice when you come out here. You know what I mean?
I did, yeah. But I couldn't afford Laker tickets.
Is that basically
and
it?
I love Shaq and Kobe. They were the best when I first moved here, but I couldn't afford those tickets. So I would get like the $7 ticket. I'd sit way up in the nosebleeds, and then no one was at those games. So they were like, it doesn't matter. Come on down. And then I'd get to in like the 100 or 200 section. So
who were on those teams? Do you remember who was the stars of those teams when you first started going to Clipper games? Is it Olowokandi still here? I'm trying to figure out 20 years ago.
Elton Brand and those guys.
Corey
Maggette.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then once I started to make money and could buy good tickets, that was like the Lob City days. So then I got season tickets. I had them for almost a decade, and just gave them up last year.
You gave them up?
Yeah. Well, I was gone. I was working out of town so much,
right?
And I just couldn't make it to any games, and it sucks. I really miss it.
Did you ever have a meeting with Ballmer, or any conversation with him? Any face to face?
I was at a bar once, and it was like for the NBA awards.
Okay.
And he came up to me, and he was just like the coolest. He's like, "Hey, man, I see you at the games. What do you think of my trades?" Because he had just like kind of blown up the team, gotten rid of Blake Griffin, and I know Blake. I really like Blake, and I'm like, well, we'll have to see about that. I'm like trying to flex on Ballmer. I'm like, oh, well, we'll see if you know what you're doing or not. And it turns out he kind of did, but it still hasn't panned out. Ballmer, get it together, bud.
Get it together.
We need a championship.
Yeah, they're building that new spot.
Yeah, they are.
So okay, can they get you back? Do you think, or what?
Well, I just gotta quit. My career needs to take a dip. Yeah. Once my career goes in the toilet, you'll be seeing me at a lot more games, is what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh! There it is. That's Ballmer screaming about his toilets in his new facility. At Adam Devine on Twitter and Instagram, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Celebrity True or False is a game that we play with people like yourself that have been involved in many, many fantastic pieces of pop culture.
Sure.
Okay, here we go. These are stories that we have heard to see if they're true or false. We have some great actual. Great production value as well. Hit it.
Oh my.
Celebrity, true or false?
You can't handle the truth.
There we go. And it's interesting enough that we have a Jack Nicholson drop like that at the end of that open, Adam, because that's how we start Celebrity True or False here.
Okay.
True or false? You worked at a grocery store where the film About Schmidt was filmed and got kicked off the set because you could not stop staring at Jack Nicholson.
That is true. Yeah, that's true.
Can you walk me through?
They were like, they asked for real extras, like people that actually worked at the store, and they kind of knew that I'm a ham and wanted to be an actor. So I was like 16. They said, just act like you're stacking the yogurts in the back. So it's me, and I'm stacking the yogurts, but I see where the camera is, so I'm like trying to angle myself out. And then I later learned this is what a first AD does, assistant director. He's like, cut. Hey, if you're in the background and stacking yogurts, I'm the only guy doing this. If you're in the background stacking yogurts, this isn't Jack Nicholson. There's not cameras here. So don't look this way. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. And then they called action again. And then it's just, I tried to like stand as far away from the shelf as possible. So when Jack comes to like grab the milk, I'd be right there and still like in frame. So I'm stacking in a way no one would stack a shelf. Just like full arms extended, just stacking like this. And they're like, cut. Oh, great. Come here. And I was like, they saw how good I was.
This is your
They're going to give me a part.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you can stack shelves over here. And I'm like, I have arrived. And then I realized now I'm just working. I'm behind the camera. And they're like, you can stack shelves over here.
So if somebody came up to you and said, it's called About Schmidt. It's not about Adam.
Yeah, it's not about Adam. Exactly right. Yeah.
Next one up. Okay. True or false, Adam Devine? You actually lived at the house where Workaholics was filmed during the first season with your co-star Blake Anderson.
So this is just called True, isn't it?
This game? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it sounds so outlandish we had to ask.
Yes. We lived there. We lived there for... me, Blake, and Kyle Newacek, who is our director and drug dealer on the show. And we lived in that house for, I think, like 3 years before getting the show. And then once we got the show, we were convinced, like, we're going to get canceled. So we might as well live here for free and let Comedy Central pay our rent.
Yes.
And then when we're canceled, at least we'd save some rent money. And so it was a weird time where, like if you didn't have the earliest call time, there's just like a guy running cables through your bedroom at like 5:30 in the morning, and like throwing the sides underneath your door, and it'd be like you in like boxer shorts and a t-shirt because we were like 25 years old, and like getting craft services, just like waiting to shoot. It was kind of the best.
It sounds great. Yeah, so you got breakfast.
Until like there's a 60-year-old man just like setting a light up right outside your bedroom window, But and you hear the trucks backing up. Our neighbors hated us there.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we had to, and also we were Comedy Central, so we didn't have like real money to pay them off. So it was just like, hey, come on over. Feel free to grab lunch. Yeah, that was our payoff.
Basic cable money is not going to pay off the neighbors. Oh, my gosh. So I'm assuming then this will be true. Your character's name in Workaholics, Adam DeMamp, inspired by a fake ID your friend once made for you in Photoshop.
Yeah, my buddy, it was like the first generation of Photoshop. And he couldn't figure out how to add new letters. He could only take letters away and move letters around. So my name is Adam Patrick Devine, and he somehow made the name Devin D. Mamp. So we just took that. I was like, I thought DeMamp was a cool last name, and a last name that literally no one has. But so yeah, I was Adam DeMamp on the show. I thought that was kind of fun.
Just because he could only
rearrange.
Oh,
his name was Jason Hillman, and he went by the name Nasaj Ali. He was a white kid named Nasaj. We're gonna get caught.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. It turns out in Omaha, Nebraska, it did. They did not care at all.
All right, I got two more for you.
All
Adam
right,
Devine, celebrity, true or false?
Please.
True or false? You thought Pitch Perfect was about baseball, so you rubbed yourself with dirt and did warm-up exercises in the parking lot prior to your audition.
I might have made up the rubbing myself with dirt part of that story, but I definitely thought it was a baseball movie. Pitch Perfect sounds like they want.
Sounds like
I have the build of a stocky catcher, so they're like, I'll pop a squad and be in this movie. And I showed up to the audition, not looking at the sides, and I get there and there's all these guys singing. I'm like, that's not gonna get you the baseball movie, I'm like, what are you doing, buddy?
So it really dawned on you in the audition.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the sides trying to memorize pretty quickly, and And I was like, this is not a baseball movie at all. I'm in way over my head. And I go in and I did the audition. It went pretty well. And they're like, what song did you prepare? And I didn't prepare a song because I thought it was a baseball movie. And they're like, well, you have to sing. And just sing whatever song pops into your head just so we know you could sing. And I sang, whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, the evening TV, which is the Full House theme song. Yeah. And I'm like, I have no idea how I got the Pitch Perfect where you sing like pop song. I like sing Rihanna, and I sang like a 70-year-old jazz singer in my audition. But I got it.
That's how you got it.
Yeah.
Was Liz Banks in this audition, or was she there? No, not.
I think she
not there.
watched the tape and she was like, "I've got to have him."
That's it.
Yeah. He's gold.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Honestly, my kids have seen those movies 11 billion times.
Yeah.
You must have got a whole total new
And I'm
audience
surprised
off
you
of that.
invited me on the show.
Not at
after
all.
Seeing that.
Not at all.
That many
I've seen it
times.
many times. You're hilarious in it. You and Rebel Wilson have done a million movies together too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We like working together.
Clearly, right?
Yeah, she's the best.
Last one for you. True or false? You were hired for the role of the Pritchett family Manny on Modern Family, in part because the producers loved that you have a Midwestern way about you. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so. They just were like, there's an inherent niceness. And I'm like, what'd you say?
Say it again.
No. There's like, you just seem like a nice guy. And so that's what they wanted for that role.
Because why? You're going to play off of Ed O'Neill's character, and that would kind of grade?
I don't know why they want. I think they wanted just me to be like kind of a sweetheart, and for Sarah Hyland's character to like kind of fall in love with this like straight-laced, nice guy.
Right.
Yeah. So it was very cool. When I first got it, they were fans of Workaholics, so they were like a little worried that I could like not be like the maniac that I was on Workaholics and just be like a nice guy. But they were like, yeah, we want you to have fun and we don't do a lot of improv on the show, but if you could improv a little bit, we would love that. And I'm like, well, this would be great. And day one, I have a scene with Sofia Vergara, and she doesn't improv. She does the lines, and I'm like went off page a little bit and was improvising, and she just goes, what? And looked over to like Video Village where the producers were, and they come over and they're like, yeah, maybe we're just going to stick to the script from now on. I'll do my best.
I mean, you've worked with some serious comedy legends. I mean, Ed O'Neill there. You have John Goodman, obviously, with Danny McBride, currently in the Righteous Gemstones. You've been in some serious stuff, brother.
I'm going to keep doing it until they figure me out.
Nobody's tapped you on the shoulder yet.
No one said, why are you here?
No.
I feel like I like stole a VIP pass, and I'm like walking around Hollywood going, I belong. And they're going to be like, he stole that from someone.
Brother, you are hanging with people with monocles now. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, we're in a
so that's
different-
about the ascots.
The ascots and
So
monocles.
that wasn't Paul Mitchell. That's his business partner, John Paul DeJoria, who's worth $3 billion.
There you
Yeah.
go.
He seemed like he was worth $3 billion.
That was the guy with the monocle?
No, that's
Or is
the
it-
ponytail guy.
Oh, the ponytail guy. I can't
Guy
keep
with
track.
monocle. He's worth so much money you don't even know. He's not on the internet, I'm sure.
He went on to create Amazon, I believe. It's an odd day for Bezos. Adam Devine, thanks for coming on here, brother.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
Anytime you've got anything you want to come on in here, I'd love to have you.
Thanks,
watch
Rich.
You are most welcome. Watch The Outlaws on Netflix, which is available right here on Roku on Friday, July 7th. And season 3 of The Righteous Gemstones already up and Adam on HBO. Adam Devine, thanks for coming on here, brother.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Catch The Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.